everybody, welcome to Active Self-Protection Extra. Today, we're gonna have a little bit of an unconventional gear review. This is a very long-term test of a kind of the iconic first really popular Micro 9. This is my personal Glock 43.
Big Tech's Ordnance is my go-to source for accessories for all your defensive and competition firearms. They have great holsters with accessories for concealment and ship fast at great prices. I'm a proud customer and recommend them without hesitation.
Neil, it's only been in the last couple of years that these Micro 9s have become quite popular. And I mean, they did exist before this, but really when Glock came out with the G43, that really started a pretty significant trend of the Micro 9.
Well, there were a fair amount of them out there, but the quality wasn't great.
Yeah, they were, weren't guns that I would necessarily say that you would, trust your life to. Right? Yep. So I bought this Glock 43 when they came out as a micro gun to carry when I couldn't carry a full-size gun. When I couldn't, I think at the time I was carrying, when it came out, I think I was still already carrying a VP9, but I needed something for really discreet carry. I kind of was thinking pocket carry, so I wanted one that was as short as I could kind of get.
Yep.
And then I wanted one that was compact, could fit in a pocket if I needed to, could put it in a holster if I wanted kind of non-permissive area carry, right? Not illegal area, but like high consequence socially or something like that. So I picked up this little Glock 43. And of course, I did the things to it that a Glock has to have done to it, which means I knocked the stupid, ugly, dovetail protectors out of it and bought some actual sights. But these are Trigicon HD XRs, which I love. And then I had the guys at Glockmeister put a ghost rocket connector in it so that the trigger doesn't stink. And then I sent it off for some stippling. And I want to show you this. This is kind of cool. Not only did they stipple it, but they actually put the ASP logo on that for me, which is pretty cool.
It's kind of cool.
Kind of nifty, right? Be careful here not to point a gun where we don't want to have a gun pointed. And so, this gun has gotten a good bit of carry and a good bit of shooting. Oh, and I also put a striker control device on it. So you can see there, it's got the flappy boy on it, the striker control device. We've talked about that before. Might be time for a gear review on the striker control device again. And I'm gonna tell you, I believe the striker control device is a marker of clue. It's a clue detector. Not to say if you don't have one that you don't have a clue, but I don't know anybody who is running a striker control device who doesn't have a clue. So that's kind of interesting.
Yep.
This is how this gun's put together. Now, I'm gonna tell you, the thing that we also did with this is that I realized, and you know me on this, I'm gonna keep this gun pointed this way, is that because of that here, now the flush mount magazine is very short here. With the flush mounted magazine on it, you know me, I really want my hand of my pinky to get up on the gun. I had the trigger guard undercut so I could get up as high on it as I could. Still can't really get my stinking hand on it, and that really affects the shootability of the gun. Also, because it's so narrow, you notice when I get high up on the gun, I don't have a lot of real estate here left. That's kind of Micro 9 territory. So I don't have a lot of real estate to kind of get inside there and get that good kind of, thumbs forward grip that we like to have on the pistol. So I compromised, and I got a couple of these +2 extensions to go on the G43. Now, my pinky fits on it great. But the problem with it, of course, is that now it's only about like a ½ an inch shorter than my full-size P30. So it's not very much more concealable, and now it won't fit in a pocket. Now, the other part of this, Neil, is why do you carry a gun?
Might have to shoot somebody.
And if you have to shoot somebody, what are the criteria that you're looking for in a gun that you might have to shoot somebody with?
Quick, accurate, and a lot.
Okay, so I want to be able to have maximum capacity. I want to be able to shoot it with accuracy at speed. And of course, I don't know of a Micro 9 that's really great for that. And this guy's super thin, right? You can see just how thin it is. And so that, I think, is going to make it a little difficult to shoot. So let's put a few rounds through it. I'm going to let Neil shoot it a little bit, tell you what he thinks of the shootability of it.
Okay.
So get all the grip I can. See, my problem is, man, I have so little real estate here that to shoot this gun well, my gracious, that feels like a lot more recoil. Man, that feels like a ton of recoil. Now, as I load the standard capacity magazine on it, of course, one of the challenges is standard capacity on this guy's 6. And with the extendo on it, it's 8. So I've gone back to shooting a 19 by God 11 in terms of capacity, right? John Moses Browning would be proud of me. But of course, if you go to the modern kind of stack and a half guns, the SIG P365s, the Glock 43X and 48, you get much higher capacities on that guy. And so, I don't know. Now, you also know I hate shooting a gun without the ability to really get my pinky on it, just because it's much harder. So let's see what recoil does here. I'm gonna try to grip it with my pinky. I'm gonna guess this is the same problem with the Hellcat. Oh man, does that have stout recoil. Something that's not doable. You saw I was able to control the recoil and manage the gun. It's just hard.
So capacity on this is 6?
6 on the flush mount, 8 on the stendo.
Well, I'm gonna put 5 in each.
No reason to do more than that. Your hands will thank you.
When was the last time you carried this gun?
It's been several years.
All right, so I'm gonna go with this, with the, what do you call this one? Just the flush one?
Flush mount, yep.
Flush mount, okay. Oh, yeah. Okay, I can't get a grip on this thing at all. We're gonna see what happens. Now, I know Rhett Neumeyer did some stuff with one of these, and he talked, the guy's a space wizard though, right? He's on a little different level than I am. This feels really weird.
Very little.
Oh! Okay, I don't like that at all. That's not fun. All right, let's try with the extendo. That feels a little bit better. Boy, that's got a lot of recoil because it's so small.
Extendo makes it a lot better.
The extendo helps a ton. I still don't like the recoil just because it's such a small gun. In a pinch, if my life depends on it, I'll go. But there's the way better choices.
So here's another part of this, is if you look, and these are equal on the bottom, the total height here is really not, now of course, you know, the optic makes this one taller for sure, but they're very similar in height, which makes this guy not significantly easier to conceal with the extended magazine on it.
Yep.
Its overall length is only, I mean, I guess a half inch shorter, so it's a little better. I'm also going to tell you that when I was carrying this guy in a pocket, these Trigicon HD sights, the suckers are sharp.
Oh, I imagine.
And so what I eventually needed to do, and I ended up never doing, was filing these down and then using a bluing pen on them, because otherwise they cut the snot out of your pocket.
Yep.
And your pants, and they did that for me for sure.
So what I would say about this thing, John, is it's a quality gun. It's a Glock. It's going to shoot.
It's going to run.
They run. They make a quality product. The drawback for me is that based on, I mean, I'm a VP9 guy. You're a P30 guy. It's about a third of the capacity.
Yep.
And about a third more recoil.
Yeah, so a lot more recoil, harder to shoot, fewer opportunities. Now, if I had to carry this gun, if you're like, hey man, it's on the roster and you can carry it and you can't carry one of your other ones.
Yep.
Okay, we're guys, we both have large hands, and so, man, you know, hard to shoot well. Usually you would use an extender in order to do that. Still hard to shoot well.
Yep.
And so I think this gun has been surpassed by, you know, the stack and a half guns that are out there. The P365 is probably the standard today, you know, the one that I would recommend if you want one of those real small stack and a half guns, until something better comes along. But if you chose this Glock 43, honestly, if I was going to do that, I'd probably go to a Glock 42, because that 380's got a little bit easier recoil to control. For most people, that would be a better choice. Is this a cool gun, though? Well, yeah, I mean, it's got my company logo on it, and a Flappy Boy on it, and good sights on it, and a reasonable trigger.
Yep.
So it's not bad, but once again, Glock perfection, man, I had to do a lot to make it kind of as shootable as it can be. So, if you have smaller hands, this gun might be a little bit better. If you got thin fingers and you can get all three on the grip without the extendo, maybe, but then you've got a 6+1 gun. And so I think the overall is I would probably rather go for either the newer stack and a half, right? Glock 43X,
Yep.
you know, if you want the shorter muzzle, or 45 if you want the longer muzzle. Yeah, SIG P365 is probably the one to go with instead. Although, again, this guy gets kind of pride of place as one of the first ones to really kind of get big.
I think so.